guys, today we're going to be doing a super sick mod, and that is changing out our headlights. It's pretty simple and you can get some pretty cool results with not a lot of effort. So the ones that I decided to choose were these ones. I got them on eBay. Go ahead and get that glare out of here. And they've got some projectors in the middle that are just regular lights, and then it's got the top and the bottom for the high beam, and then it's got these two on the side that are running lights or blinkers. So I already have this one installed. You can see it looks pretty well. It fits with a nice dark kind of look. Changing out these fog lights might be the next step to kind of make them look the same. But I'll go ahead and show you a clip right now of what it looks like when they are running. And they look pretty cool in my opinion. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna go ahead and do this one. Both sides are pretty identical, so it's pretty easy. One thing I will say is the screws for these are very small and they love to lose themselves in the headlight buckets. So number one thing that we're going to do is be very careful with all the screws. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do, there's a Phillips head right here. Whoop. On that side, it's hard to see. And then there's another one right there on the inside. Can't really see them that well. I've already taken both of them out. Those ones love to get stuck inside, and then when you try to pull this plastic bezel off, come off. So you want to be careful with that. Now the next thing that we're going to go ahead and do is, so there's a screw up here, but there's a tab that clips it in down here on both sides. So we're just going to pull this plastic bezel forward, and we're not going to really be able to get it out because it's got this kind of thing underneath it to divert water forward, and it tucks under the bumper. So if you have your bumper out, this would be pretty easy, but we're gonna go ahead and just move it forward so that we can get to this metal bracket that holds in our light. You might be able to see it around the outside there. It's just a little metal bracket, and it's held by 2 screws on top, 2 screws on bottom, all a pretty small Phillips head size. So let's go ahead and take this bracket, or I guess bezel, and move it forward. Alright, so you might be able to see the tiny little Phillips head there and the tiny one over there. There's 2 more on top. We're going to go ahead and move this bezel upwards once we want to go get those. We're just going to grab a little Phillips head and just kind of take those off. They do have retainers on the back of them, so the actual Phillips head bolt won't come all the way out. It will stay on the bracket, hopefully, unless the retainer came out, which would be unfortunate. But you should be able to just loosen them up, and then the entire metal bezel will come off. Alright, so you can see here is the bezel, and I managed to lose one of the screws like I warned not to. And once that's done, this light will come out. You may need, you may need to kind of finagle the plastic bezel again. And then on the back in there, there's a standard just 3-prong, I don't know, whatever this bulb is called, type of connector. All you want to do is just pull it straight back, it'll come off. Give it a little wiggling. Sometimes it's a little rusted, so maybe a shot of WD-40 or something to get it off. And a good yank and it should come out. Alright, you can see there's our old plug in there, and here's our new headlight. This guy will just plug straight in. If you want to run it just the headlights, you can. These 2 guys right here are actually for the kind of like DRL kind of looking things. So from what I learned on the other side, the red one is the daytime running lights, and the green one makes them orange, like blinkers. I'm only going to hook up the running lights right now, but in the future, if you wanted to splice into these guys, the wiring that goes to them, and then bring it up here, you should be able to make these turn orange whenever your blinker is on. So I'm going to go ahead, and what I have already done is, because I have E-fans, I already had a thermostat and power running up here, and this is a switched power because this thermostat will get, it'll read that it's hot and then just leave the fans on even if the car is off. It's not a terrible idea, and if you had some sort of timer, then that'd be good, but I don't want that. And so what I did is I had them switched. I ran a wire from my steering column up into the engine bay over here. I'll go ahead and show you. And then there's a relay right here if you can see it, and this is a relay, so it's switched. Now I have this is for the thermostat, the gray wire, and then this blue one is for the fan. So this is an independent power source for the fan, and it was running, and I spliced into that. So this blue wires switched, and now these red wires, one goes to that side obviously, and one is going to go to this side. It is going to activate our DRLs. So anytime the key is in the on position, these will be illuminated. So even if you have the engine off, they will be on. That is just one thing to understand. So I'm going to go ahead, you can see I spliced in on both sides for this wire, one going up, one going down, so it looked a little bit better. And I'm just going to cut a short length of wire, bring it down here, and then I have one of these spade connector kind of things that'll just plug right into these guys. So let me go ahead, I'm going to fab that up real quick, and then we'll go ahead and start fitting this back in. Alright, you can see we got it all wired up. Everything is properly connected back there. We got the running light and then just the main. Now is a good time to test it because you don't want to have to put it all back together just to find out something's not working right and then take it all back apart. So we're going to go ahead, just prop it up like this. And on these specifically, there's letters on it that says DOT SAE. You can't really see that. These are directional. One side is up and one side is down. There is a pattern to them, like a viewing kind of thing. So you do want to make sure that this is right side up when you put it in. I've already tested that side, and we'll test this side too when it goes. What we can do is we can point at the roof and just look at it, and we'll just make sure everything works on this. All right, we're gonna go ahead and turn the key into the on position, and you can see our running lights are working. All right, we can go ahead and turn that off, and now what we do is we can turn on, this is just the side markers, so they shouldn't be on, and we could always have the DRLs come on with them, but if you're driving and you have those on, they'll be on anyways. And then we'll have, here's our light, you can see this guy's on and that guy's on. There's the pattern on the ceiling. You can see that it's bulging down, that's where you want the road to be. So you don't blind any oncoming traffic. And we'll go ahead and test the brights. And you can see now all of them are on, and all of them are on. So we are all good to go. We can go ahead and turn these off, and we can go ahead and put it back together now. Alright guys, installation is pretty much just the exact opposite of deinstallation, or taking the old ones out. So it's pretty simple, but they look great, and it really has made a huge difference in the way this car looks. It just looks super sleek. We might be doing these fog lights soon. These guys, they don't really match the new headlights, so we'll see if we can find something that'll fit. If you guys have any questions about these headlights, they were $36 at the time that I bought them a piece, so about $75 together with shipping and everything. So go ahead and check them out if you like. There's a couple great ones on eBay. I really wouldn't be too wary of them if they're cheap. These ones are pretty cheap, and they're really good quality. Of course, time will tell how they come out. But just make sure when you're looking at them what the wattage is and how many lumens they are. You don't want to get something that's too low. I don't remember the specs on these ones. You can go, I'll put a link to these in the description of this video if you want to check these ones out specifically. And there you go guys, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you later.